And welcome to the Clarity Christmas pop-up shop number 2. Last Wednesday we got together and we didn't even touch the surface of what we laid out for you good people at home, and so we thought it would be a good idea to come back this Wednesday and show you the rest of our little pop-up shop treats. So is anybody there? Am I on my own? It'd be lovely to have your company today, and then I can show you what we've laid out for you. Interestingly, we've relocated, so I'm thinking and I'm hoping that you can hear me well. Paul, is the sound okay? Sound is good. Well, good. Great. Come on in. I'm early to the party. I'm actually at Clarity Towers. I'm not above the garage. We moved the pop-up shop into the building, into the big building in Edenbridge, just because things were getting so tight in my little shack. And I said to Paul, why don't we've got 2 TV studios. Why don't we use TV studio number 2 at Clarity Towers to do our pop-up shop? So here we are, and Paul's laid it all out lovely. Isn't that cool? So let's have a look. Is anybody there? Hello, Pat. Good to have your company. Hi, Tina. Nice to see you all. Come on in. Grab a seat. This is a much, much bigger room, much more spacious. You know, under the roof where I am, usually it's quite tight. And with all my art stuff, it was getting worse and more like difficult to work. So we've had a little rejig, and I think this is going to be a lot better. Now, let's have a look. What did we do last Wednesday? Come on in while everybody's joining us. Last week, what we looked at, and you can always go back and look at the pop-up shop numero uno and just catch up on what we did there. Last week, we looked at all the lovely calligraphy work. So let's just have a look at the art boards and let's get started, give people a chance to come in and join us. If we were to, you got to bear with me now because the cameras are the same but different. I'm sure I'll get it sorted. So let's have a look here. Do you remember we looked at this little bell? And what we've done is we've taken some really old and popular Clarity classics. We've reworked them. We've spun a little bit of magic on them and turned them into beautiful little sets. And these little A7 sets are completely new to us. We've got several of them as well. And then we looked at these gorgeous calligraphy sets. It came upon the Midnight Clear, the little angels, Noel. I love that writing. I mean, this is handwritten by a talented calligrapher. Mary, there we go. Joy to the world, beautiful. And we've also got these lovely little flourishes and swirls. God bless you. And each one of these makes a lovely little framer. So I'm not sure about, let me think about the price. If I'm not mistaken, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're $3.99 each, aren't they? Maybe, Paul, you could put up the special offer. I've got a feeling that they're $3.99 each, but there is a special offer on the calligraphy sets. Paul, perhaps you could just help me out here because I don't seem to have the numbers in front of me. Week, I know. But I'm sure Paul will be able to help us there. So I'm sure that these 4, if I'm not mistaken, are like £12 or something. But that's my memory from last week. Paul will correct me if I'm wrong. Now, this was an interesting one that I showed you last week. Now, this was really lovely, the Holly and the Ivy, a very traditional calligraphy, again, hand-drawn by the same artist, Mary. And you'll see here the Holly and the Ivy when they are both full grown. What we've done is we've split them up into 3 stamps. The special price for all 4 of the calligraphy stamps, if I'm not mistaken, is £12. I think it's 4. Anyway, so this one here, we've got the traditional one, which is lovely for gold embossing. Then we've got this triangle, which sits behind. And then this one is a separate stamp, which is really lovely. If you want to know how that works, then go back to the last Wednesday's pop-up shop. Paul will give you the link, I'm sure. And now here, this is another really lovely 2-way overlay. And that piece, that dove of piece goes in, just drops straight in, instant colouring, drop straight in, drop straight in. This is what we did last week, if you'll recall, if you were with us. Now, let's see. This is a great one. I love this panel. Very busy panel, but if you look closely, you can see there are 8 doves in there, and here they are, all beautifully numbered, easy to drop in. Again, I'm not going to repeat the artwork because we've already been down that road. Now let's have a look at a couple of others. I think I touched on these beautiful wire drawings. I did these years ago, but what we've done is we've added to that, we've added the this lovely flourish. And I was on the telly last week, I think it was on Friday, and this was one of the pieces of artwork I did, which I really like. We've used one of our large backdrop stamps, the large square one in the backdrop. Then I've used this frame here to create a top right, bottom left, which is a lovely way to framework. And we've used a couple of the little assets here for a dangle. And then one of our sticker stamps. So that's lovely. And again, that was on Catch Up. I think you'll find that on the craft channel. This is a beautiful one. I like this. You'll see this is done in silver. What's interesting is this little, look, this is interesting. We're going to take a closer look at these little straw images around the outside embossed. There's your little piece from the doves. So it all starts to tie in. This is an aperture. And then the wire tree, which is so pretty, is just sat in the center there. So that's, in the main, that's what we got up to. And what I wanted to do, we did touch on our Clarity Charity tree. So I like this. This is a very simple tree. And what we're doing is, let me just show it to you. Here it is here. So what we're doing is, we're offering you this really lovely zesty tree. Look, we've changed the font. We've got a load of snowflakes there, and you can see here how I used the snowflakes around the edge. I've made a triangle. See, I took the idea from the triangle from the calligraphy tree that we used, that I showed you earlier, and we just made an opening. But again, I did this on the telly, so I won't repeat myself. I've got so much more to show you. And then these little elements, the individual stamps, the snowflakes, this is how we filled in the gaps to make the frame larger. Look on Catch Up on the craft store if you're interested in how this was made. And here you can see all 3 of the stamps used in the same way as this one. And just for your information, what we're doing here is, for every set of these that we sell, how much are these? $14.99? I think so, right? For every set of these that you buy, we're donating £1 to Crisis, to the homeless charity. And therefore, that's why this is called the Clarity Charity Tree. So we thought that would be a nice gesture this Christmas. We've already made a couple of £100 for Crisis. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the charity tree, and I hope that you know that is quite easy to count how many we sell, because we make them ourselves. So we've got a counter on them, and that charity drive will run right through until the 1st of January. Why not? Eh? And I'm sure I'll top it up. I'm sure we'll round it up here at Clarity, because that's the way you should. Right. So we'll put them to one side. Bear with me. And then I want to show you a couple of new things. These are really lovely stamps. Again, I say new, but not new. Let's have a sip of tea. Is anybody, are we in the building? Are we settled in now? Have I given you a chance to get comfortable before we properly begin? Yeah? Touch of the white stuff on top of the mountains in Snowdonia this morning. We had our first frost as well. First time I had to scratch the windscreen too. Okay, coffee today. There are advantages to being at Clarity Towers. Paul's next door, which is great. $14.99. Yeah, I was right. The trees are $14.99, the Clarity charity trees. There you go. And of course you get your club discount on there too, don't you? Yeah, so Paul's in the building next door. The coffee machine's over the way here. I haven't got to run through the garden. It's a bit different, but we'll get there. It's nice. It's nice. Right, are you ready? Let's get started. Now, okay, so I wanted to start with a couple of little stamps. I love these. So these are little A7 sets. It's $3.99 each. This is really, wait till you see what you do with these little sets. Okay, let me just show you. So these two little sets, okay, we've got Noel and Merry Christmas, Noel and Merry Christmas, little and large, right? Can you see that? Okay, these are the most beautiful. I designed these years ago, years and years ago, and we've regrouped, rechanged the sizes. Beautiful. Right, then many of you have already seen these in the pop-up shop online. We've got the snowflake corner, and we've got the holly corner, and then we've got some little flourishes and bits and pieces which are brilliant for building on and little finishing touches. And then we've got that font that I totally love, the Christmas Wishes font. So that's been coming up more and more. Let's take those two things and let's just get you in the mood. Let's warm up. I'm going to take a piece of stencil card, just a piece of stencil card. That'll do for now. And then I think we'll start the game. Here we go, look. We'll start the game with this corner here, the holly corner. And I'll show you how it works. And I think I'll start up in this top corner because I don't want to waste all this. But I just want to, and I'm not going to go with colour. This is more about technique than anything. So the first thing I've got to do is ink up, well, no, actually, the first thing I've got to do is put the right glasses on because I can't see that far. Right. Oh, it's just one of those things when you get older, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. So we're going to ink up with a black archival and I'll show you how to make a pattern or how to make there we go. So we'll stamp into that corner. That'll get us going. All right. Now, let's make a box. I'll show you how to make a box. Very simple. Just you can eyeball it really. Here we go. Line up there like so. Eyeball it and then down you go. So then you're pressing in the corner. See? Then you turn it. The trick is to always turn the artwork with this. This is pattern building. Core. I tell you what, our old Clarity friends, and I don't mean old as in years, but we're all getting there. You'll remember the pattern building. You'll remember it well. Right, there we go. So we'll pop that in there, and I'm always putting pressure on that corner. That's the corner I'm adding to. And now I'm going to join this up. So let's have a look. So we'll add this one, and I want to show you these two little sets really work nicely. So let's take this, and then we just lean that. If it doesn't join up perfectly, it's a little bit lighter. Doesn't matter. You get the picture. Right, so I've got that there. That's actually a good trick to show you. I want to show you something different. So we've done that, and then I'm going to take the Merry Christmas, that beautiful, it's really lovely. I like this one. Let's take this Merry Christmas, and let's add it here in that lower region, like so. Now, what's happened to my ink pad? Why is that dried up all of a sudden? What one have I got here? Okay. I don't know why it's not working so well, but it's all right. I'll just press a bit harder. Okay, so I've got Merry Christmas there. And then I'm going to take my little flourish. There we go. And I'll add my little flourish to the top, like so. Okay, so I've got my flourish there. Actually, I'm going to use this to my advantage. In a minute, you're going to think she did that deliberately. And I wish that was so, but it is not so. But I'm going to show you a way to cover yourself when that sort of thing happens. Because it does, doesn't it? You stamp it and you think, three are lovely and black, and then one's not so black. And then what? And then the words didn't go right. I mean, if you wanted to do it deliberately, you probably couldn't. So I've got another little tiny, see on this set here, look, there's that little flourish, which is lovely at the top. Nice. And then I think I'll use the little one where that eye is, let's just pop that little, there, lovely, 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 Barbara. So we've got that, yeah. Now what we could do, you're going to go, oh, there she goes again with her purga colours. Well, here she comes again with her purga colours. Looky, looky. These are brilliant, you know. And the reason they're brilliant, let me tell you about them. You must think we have a warehouse full of them. Well, funnily enough, we do. Is that the price, Paul? $25.94? Is it? Is it? Let me know. There are 30 of these double-sided pens. And what you can do, you see, is you can take a colour. Let's just pick a colour, any colour. Actually, right, they're brand new. Here's a bit of a pick-through set of Paul's, because, of course, mine are, you guessed it, they're at the Shack Shack. It's all right. I'm using Paul's pick-through set. See, one of the wonderful things about these purga colours, have you got yours yet? How much are they, Paul? Let me know. You've got two ends. So you've got this really fine end. Where can I go? Where's that third camera? Ah, yeah. Let's check this out. Let's see if you can see this. If I come up really close, can you see that? Let me take a bit of black. Hold on. I'm on it. Take a bit of black and then come in. Right, okay, up we go. Can you see that nib? It's got a kind of a plastic case around it. So that means that it's never going to go felty on you or crush, right? And so many of these pens, they're double-ended. Sure, there's loads of them on the market. And one of the ends is a bullet point, so you can colour in nicely. And you know when you use your mix mat, if you want to use the really dark colours, what I tend to do is put this on the mix mat, add a tiny little bit of water, and then you can use your blending nibs. If you want to go really like colouring vast expanses, that's a great way to use. The thing about the nib, the tiny fine line, is that you can use it to colour in these tiny little bits. So if let me see if I can come in a bit. Right, that must be a bit tighter, is it? I hope so. Right. So if I come in a bit tighter, what you can see here is because they're so fine, I can leave a little white as if the light were hitting. You see what I mean? So you can leave a little white area. Can you see that all right? Like this. Okay. And you can add a little bit of colour to the berries and leave a little whiteness where the light is hitting. Always top left-hand corner, like that. So I wonder if you can see that if I come up really close. I bet you can see that, can't you? See what I'm doing? Yeah. So see where Merry Christmas and it didn't get dark enough. Right, so let's have a look what we can do here. I'll just put a little bit of red in there. And then what I could do if I wanted to, let's go with a different colour now. Let's see what colour is this. Let me check. That works nicely. There we go. So I can now, on those, you see where the black ink didn't go so well, and I didn't quite nail it, I can use the bullet end if I want to, or I can use the fine end if I really want to get in on that, right? So what I'm saying is that where you get that, here we are, look, see what I'm doing? So I'm colouring in leaves, even the blacker leaves like here, you can add a bit of green over the top. And what you'll find is, there you go. The black is real black, right? But you'll find like, if you've got, here we go. You can use it. It's almost like second generation ink. Now, I'm using the green just because I've got it in my hand, but I could go in with the red on this. I'm using a light green. I don't want it to be too dark. But this is really a nice way to cover yourself. Look, and it really is effective because you still get the beautiful font. You've given yourself the outline, if you like, the base, and then you just colour in over the top. There, it looks really nice actually. So should you stamp something, it's another reason to get these. I'm telling you, They're invaluable. They are. Great Christmas presents as well for the grandchildren. Okay. Oh, joking aside. Right. So you've got that now. Now let's have a look. Let's take a smaller one. I just want to show you something because I've made a box like that. Right. Now let me take that corner and let me do this. Let me take a smaller piece and let's see what happens. So we've done the large one like that. Let's put that there like so. Now I know why this is happening. It's because I'm not pressing hard on the stamp and I'm using one of Paul's ink pads instead of my own. But that's okay because I'm here to stay and I shall find my own ink pad. Right, there you go. Black, blacker than black. And then what I want to do though is show you how to make a smaller card, you know? Let me show you. If you're making cards for charity, or let's call it a gift tag, call it what you like. Let's open this up a little bit. Just make a gap. There you go. Look, I'm not even going to worry too much about. Make a gap like so, right? That little, there's also, these are so cool. See this little Merry Christmas here? See the little Merry Christmas there? And you've also got the Noel in miniature too. I'll show you that as well. If I take the Merry Christmas, I can pop that in there. It will sit in there like a charm. You have a look. See what you think. So there. Perfect. Boom. Merry Christmas. There you go, for balance now. That little single holly leaf. And I'll just stick that over there. Look, isn't that lovely? There you go. So you're using both of those little sets. That's I think $3.99 with your club discounts for all those little pieces. And we haven't even started. Hang on, we haven't even started on the snowflakes yet. We're just using like half the set, if you like. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to use the snowflakes now. Similar but different. You watch. And you have to remember that you can interchange these ideas that I give you. So let's take that now. And here, there they are. Look, there's one that's trimmed up now. There's that one trimmed up. So you can see where I'm going with it. It's going to look lovely when we mount that on, say, on a card blank. It's going to look so cool, right? So let's just put that to one side. And while let's just put that to one side. And now let's look at the next one. And I'll take, just to show you. All right, we'll turn that over. Waste not, want not. This time, I'm going to go with the snowflake one. And instead of black, because we're going black, 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 let's go with cobalt blue. Okay, so it's still quite dark, but I reckon it will work nicely. And I want to show you a trick. If you want to put something bang in the middle of something, let me pan out a little bit. Just a moment. I'm just going to pan out a bit so you can actually see the outside of the card. Otherwise, this is going to be a redundant exercise. Okay, sorry. There we are. If I want to know where the middle of something is, I'm teaching a lot of you to suck eggs here, but it's good to know. If I were to take a pencil and a ruler and go from corner to corner diagonally, like that, really lightly, so that you can see it. See, pencil, you can rub it out anyway, can't you? But this is going to give you the center regardless. Here we are. And then you could also, if you're worried about positioning, you're going to go this way as well, right? If you like, then you know exactly where right? You could have a template like this if you like. I be honest, I eyeball it, but I'm going to give you that anyway. That's just a way of making sure that when you center it, you can see. If I come down here, if I want it bang in the middle, I can go up a little bit. Do you see what I mean? And I know exactly where to land my stamp, where to plant my stamp. So if I'm going to go here, then I'm going to go like that, and I know that that's in the middle, right? And then I'm going to pop that in, and that way that stamp is right on that line. Okay, and I'll turn it round. It's just once you, I mean, I dined out on these stamps for 15 years. So to be honest, I always just eyeballed it. There you go. There we are. See? And that little tiny, if I want a gap there, that's fine. I don't mind a little gap, a little bit of a breather. But all I'm actually looking at when I do this is that line on that stamp and that line on that paper. See? And I'll turn it round. So I'm inking up in the blue. And then now I'm just looking at what's already there and I'm marrying it up there. So now I know that that's bang in the middle, right in the middle. Easy with a little bit. And then once it's all dry and the ink's dry, then you take your pink rubber, your pink eraser, and you just rub out the pencil lines. Next stamp. This is really, really cool. We'll take this one. I want to pop that. Do we want it bang in the middle? Let's bring it down a little bit. It always looks more attractive. A little bit off center, if you like. You can always create balance with a couple of little snowflakes. Let's have a look. So we've got that. That's so nice, isn't it? I mean, do you know how much less expensive? Cool. I tell you what's handy as well is that line. That line is great now because that really helps you line it up. There you go. Nice. That line along there tells me exactly where to plant that. I mean, if you're using stamp positioners, you're laughing anyway, really, aren't you? Right, snowflakes. Let's get these little snowflakes up. See these little ones? They're in the set. These are so cool. See the little tiny snowflakes in the set? There you go. These two little snowflakes. So nice. And then what we'll do is we'll just pop that snowflake. Let's get a little bit of a, there you go. Let's put that one there. Look at that. So pretty, so sharp. It's ridiculous. Let's put this little one in here like that. Not too close. Perfect. Now let me just lift this up. Let me offer this up to the overhead so you can see. Can you see how sharp those little images are? Really, really cool. Now, let's pretend this is all dry. Got that dry. Let's put these away. Playing for time. Let it dry. In the meantime, you can be looking for those stamps. I think Paula's bound to give you the link to those little sets of stamps. I think they're a worthy purchase, if I may say so myself. I think you get hours of mileage out of this. Now, have I shown you these before? Because these are pretty cool. These are Apertures, and they are so useful, so useful. I don't even think they're that expensive. I think it's like £11.90 or something for the whole set, and you get all four of the big shapes. And you also get the innie and the outie, so you get the positive and the negative. So you've got the circle, you've got the square, which I'm going to use. You've got the arch, which is beautiful arch. So these are going to work really well with a lot. You know, when you're making cards and you're not sure about a frame, these are great. There's an oval, but you've also got all your positives and your negatives too. So I think that's a really good set to invest in if you're looking for an outline. And I'll show you how it works. So let's just say that now. So then you think, right, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Look, as if by magic, check this out. It fits in there absolutely perfectly. Pure coincidence. Honestly, pure coincidence. Let's look at this. And here's something else that you might consider purchasing. Right, we've got some new masking tape in the building. Really, really excellent. Low tack. It's our own Clarity brand this time. Very, very good. You know, you don't want to leave residue. You don't want to tear your artwork when you're using it. Sometimes you just need some low tack to hold it in place while you're working. So let's make this. It's good quality gear, right? So we'll just turn this round. I'm just showing you how they work. So now we know that sits on there absolutely perfectly. Yeah. And what we'll do is let's take a lighter colour. I'll take a bit of copy paper as well. Right, here we go. £11.99 for the stencils, Paul is telling me. Now, Rather than go into the dark colour, let's go to an artistry colour. This is a nice colour. Morning Dew. Morning Dew. Just light. Hopefully these are dry by now. Just give it 5 minutes to dry. We're going to use our brushes, our Clarity stencil brushes, 4 in a box. Wonderful quality. Really good for distributing ink. Right, let's get started. See if we can we see anything? Is this working? You think not? Let's check it out. Okay, I reckon this is going to work. And then what we're going to do is start coming around the edge here. Coming around the edge. Let's see if we can build this up. We don't want it too dark. It's snowflakes. They're supposed to be delicate. Now, let's see. Have I got an old ink pad here? That's all right, though. Let's give it a go. Load up that ink pad. Maybe I may have to treat myself to a new one. Thing is, you think there's nothing going down, right? Round we go. We've got a stencil. Should we have a look? See if it's working. Oh, yeah, it's working. Can you see that? Let's come in a bit closer. And in we come. Let's see again. So I've got the hinge up here, you see. So that means that when I open it up, I can see exactly where I am, right? Drop it down. If I want to add a bit more, let me show you with the brushes. So you can splay the brushes and you could come in on the edge like that. You could get a really nice vignette just by pulling in from this side. And the stencils are great. The Mylar is quite thick, so it's not flimsy. It's not going to move. And you're just going to come in off the edge. And you'll see, the longer you do this, the darker it will get. But you'll see you get a really nice finish. And as you're pulling in off the stencil, so you go round, if you want to, you can come in tighter. Take out all the white if you feel like it. I wouldn't, personally. And then, when you've done that, just bear with me a moment. What else do we want? Spot on sponges. This is definitely a little pop-up shop, isn't it? You know, if you watch me long enough, you'll know that I don't use loads of stuff. I've got like a little stash of gear. My brushes, my sponges, my stencil card. But these stencils, these shape stencils, these basic, to me, these are like essentials, really, especially if you're starting out. And what we're doing now is, you see, we're pulling the ink in off the stencil, and that'll really sharpen up. See how it sharpens up the edge? Really nice, really nice. And then when you rub that out, that'll do. I don't want to overcook it, but you can see exactly how that works. And so now you've got yourself your outer edge, and it's really simple to do. And that's it really. And I'd leave that on there. There, look, just pull that over like that. And the next time I use it, I'll just pull it back and go again. Don't waste it. So there's your masking tape. There's your spot on sponges. There are your brushes. There's your Morning Dew. Now, Morning Dew, where does that come from? Which set is that in? That is in the Lime Kiss set. So you could, you see, ostensibly, you could get the little baby Morning Dew in the selection box, because that's pretty cool, because then you get loads of colours, 12 in fact. And then when you realise that Morning Dew is beautiful, then you treat yourself to the larger one. There you go. And if you're not familiar with these ink pads, they're pretty cool. Look, let me show you something. Because when you lift this up, I'll show you. When you lift that over, you see the ink pad is facing downwards. And one thing I will tell you is when I'm working with, especially older ink pads, I always put them facing downwards so that the ink runs to the top. There's also a little compartment in here where I put my little blending sponges. I haven't got one in here. Well, it's not mine, it's Paul's. But what I love about this is that the lid becomes part of the handle. So I don't get covered in ink with these, you know. I can ink up my stamps and I don't lose the lid, and the lid stays with. There you go. Really ingenious design, really. Yeah. And even on the little ones, let me show you. Even though the lid comes off, it still says Lime Kiss, Lime Kiss, Lime Kiss. It's like, you know, whichever angle you're looking at it from, it's very, very clearly indexed. So they're nice ink pads. We get these from India. They're really excellent colour. The Indians have got the knack with dyes. We know that, right? I'm talking about colour dyes now. Okay, so I think that'll do on the Noel. That's that. I think we've exhausted that little set. Nice though, hey? I know. I love that little set. Well, those two little baby sets, I think they're very, 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 very cool. So we didn't have them last week. Well, we didn't have them. We hadn't made them, right? So that's quite nice. Now, what else do I want to show you? Are you ready? Let's have a sip of tea. Let's have a sip of tea and then we'll go again. Anybody there apart from me? Ah, nectar. Now, there's another thing I want to show you, which isn't strictly Christmas, but it is Remembrance Sunday on Sunday, Armistice Day. And so we, again, in keeping with the idea of the Charity Clarity Tree, we thought we'd have another little drive on some very nice poppies that I drew a few years ago. And again, now these poppies, we've got them in groovy, if you're a groover. And we've also got them now in these gorgeous stamp sets. So let me show you them in groovy. And you may be familiar with these. Do you remember those two sets? Those two? They're from ages ago, really a long time ago. And I said, well, have we got these in stamps? Have we? And we didn't have them in a beautiful, we've got them in a kind of a medley, but we didn't have them in their own beautiful little Lest We Forget stamps. So we thought, right, well, that's what we're going to do. So these are little A6 sets. What's the price on them, Paul? Are they £10? I'm not sure. I can't remember. But what I do know, Paul will give us the price. But I tell you what we have done. Again, for each set, I think they're £9.99 each, which is pretty cool. And what we're going to do is donate £1 for each one. So if you buy the pair, we'll donate £2 to the Poppy Appeal. There you go. So one pair is £1 each, and they're £9.99 each. Of course, you get your club discount, but I like these. I think even if I say so myself, I drew these and I like them. So let's just pan out a little bit, and I'm going to show you what they look like stamped up and what we can do with them. What's the time? It's already past. Do you believe it? Right, let's have a look there. And let me just put these back on the back. Don't worry, we've got plenty of time. And I want to just show you, for example, how simple this can be. If I take one of our little 3.5 by 3.5 inch, we sell those as well, don't we? Look, all this is that cut into 4 pieces, right? 3.5 inches, 7 by 7, 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, just to get your bearings. And what we'll do now, just look at these two. This is what they look like printed. And I'm going to take this set. I like these, I really do. And I'm just going to stamp them in black on a piece like this. Again, if you're making cards for charity, then this is the way to go. This time I'll use a black ink pad again. Let's hope that I press hard enough this time. So this stamp, I'm giving you the sort of the size orientation here. So this is my new ink pad. Hopefully, well, it was Noi. It's not Noi anymore, is it? I'm thinking I might have to break out another one. Fast drying archival ink pad. Okay. And we're just going to pop that straight in on there. So it sits on there very nicely, very simple. We'll just press in the center, a little bit of pressure. I've mounted this on I think this is a 5 by 5 if I'm not mistaken. So we'll just add a little bit of pressure there. Make sure that we've got a good impression. If it's a big stamp like this, you can always rub the back. There you go. Perfect. So I've got that there. And what we've done, we've added 2 words. Look, lest we forget, word stamps. Lest we forget comes with the poppy, the solo poppies. And then remember goes in the wreath. And this little fella just sits up there beautifully too. So I'm just going to stick to this one now. If I take, lest we forget and remember, see, they're interchangeable, very interchangeable, of course. If I use a little strip, like a little offcut, look, these are just little offcuts. But I want to show you a simple way to just make these cards, give them meaning. That's it, isn't it? It's giving them meaning. Let's just take remember, and we'll ink it up in black, and then we'll add it to that little box. There you go. Done. Remember. So we've done remember, and then we're going to take lest we forget. And again, with the poppy appeal, with these stamps, we're going to run this for a while yet, this offer. We're going to donate this, lest we forget, £2 to charity. I know we said something and I can't remember what it was, but I'm sure it's, why don't we just run it until the end of the year? Why not? Okay, because we really should remember. Now let's have a look. So we've done that and we've done that. Let me take these two out of the way, and I want to show you how you can just, it's interesting how you can just, simplest little finishing tricks. I'm assuming that we've got some friends in the building that aren't stampers, who don't know me from Adam and don't know how this sort of finishing trick goes. Now, my mum is German, and I remember whenever an envelope came through the door and it had a black line around it like this, you knew it was bad news. Somebody had passed away. It was just, it's a German thing. I don't think it's an English thing. But this is a sort of a black edging like this for German people. It usually symbolizes or signifies a passing. And so on this particular occasion, I think we use it a lot just to edge our work, don't we, in England, just because it makes things pop. But I just wanted to flag that up because it's never been more appropriate than Remembrance Sunday, really. Now, if I take that, right, and I take just a 5x5 card blank. You know we sell these too. We sell beautiful scored but not folded card blanks. When you add that to there, now where do you want to go? Do you want to go that way or that way? Turn it round. And then your lest we forget, you can run that straight. Look, here we go. Where do you want to put it? Do you want to put it on there like so? Or do you want to put it straight over there like that? Do you want to put it at the base like that? You decide. Or remember. So we've done remember as well. You see now, it's entirely up to you. Where do you think it sits right? Bottom right-hand corner? It's entirely up to you where you place it. You know, each one looks different, doesn't it? It's an opinions thing. There you go. But I just wanted to explain how easy it is to do this. And I've already done one for the remember as well. So you can see how that looks when it's, and again, you don't need more. There's always a tendency, keep it simple, this one. There's always a tendency to think that you've got to fill all the white gaps. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. So you could put lest we forget, I don't know. See, it's too much. Less is more. We know that expression. We really need to use it. And then if you wanted to colour in, of course, you can put a little flash of red on the poppies. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. I'm just showing you how to do a little bit of layout with some beautiful, beautiful stamps. Okay, so, and then with this one here, you can see I've just taken that little, it's included in the pack, and you just add a little flourish for balance opposite. You could, of course, if you felt inclined, you could put 4 in each corner. Me personally, I think less is more. How do you feel about that? Yeah. And then as far as assembly goes, you know, oh, it's a pop-up shop, Clarity Stamp. We've got our own little tape runners, haven't we? Our glue runners. And then we're just going to go slowly, take it easy, just gently does it. And I know I'm teaching you to suck eggs here, but don't go too fast, because if you do, then it's quite straightforward. The glue hasn't got time to dispense, and so it gets caught up, and then before you know it, I like bottom openers. There you go. Pop that on there. And the reason I like cards that open like that, okay, at the bottom, is because at Christmas we always hang them over the bunting in the kitchen, and they look so nice. Doesn't that look good? Remember, lest we forget. I like that there. I like that there. Do you like that there? Oh, Barbara, just get over it. I'm going to put remember there. There we are. And we'll just add a little bit of colour, bit of tape to the back. And then if you've got a bit of dodgy stamping, then this is a perfect butterfly. There you go, a little off centre. Nice, huh? Easy to colour in. A little bit of red, little flash of colour. Bob's your uncle. There you go. So that's our 2 little sets of poppies. And as I said, every single set, £1, Clarity will donate to the Poppy Appeal, because I think that's very important. Okay. Right, now we're to, let me just check where I'm at. How are you doing? Everybody happy? What's the time? 22. Okay, I tell you what, let's go a little bit Scandinavian, shall we? Go a bit Nordic. Do you know, this is interesting. I did the ancestry, you know, the ancestry thing. Grace bought it for us for Christmas, and I kept spitting in the bottle, and they kept saying that my DNA was getting rejected, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, finally got it right, sent it off, came back, and I'm like 10% Swedish. Yeah. I said, I love that. I'm half German. I'm like 40% German, more German than anything. Yeah, that figures. Then, oh, no, I'm not. Was it more German? No, I'm more Scottish. I'm like mostly Scottish, a little bit of English, a lot of German, and then there's a load of Swedish in me. So I don't know what happened there. Yeah, but apparently Scottish. Well, the clue's in the name, really. Grey. Yeah, I like that. I can cope with Scottish. I like the Scot. Why have I always had an affinity for the Scots? Well, now we know. Now let's have a look. This is some artwork that I did. This one I did using these. I love these trees, right? So we've changed them. We've zhuzhed them up a little bit, and we made them a bit smaller because I thought this was a little bit on the large side. So what we've done is we took the smaller ones. We forgot about the big ones, and we just went with the smaller ones. But look, this is a nice trick that I did. I like this anyway. Bit of wallpaper, right? And then you can see it's kind of 3-dimensional. Look, let me show you on the other camera. Here we go. So you can see how it stands away. It goes flat in the envelope, but then you can, and that's quite clever. I have my moments. Okay. So what I thought I'd do is, since I'm 10% Swedish, I thought, right, we'll go a bit Nordic, we'll go a bit Scandinavian on this one. Okay, I'm feeling Swedish. I could go a little bit blonder than this if I had to. Right, so what we'll do is, I'll just show you how these new stamps of ours work. I like this a lot. Let's check it out. And what we've got is, we've got an innie and then we've got the positive and the negative. Obviously this one sits over the top of that one, but I wanted to show you how this one works. This one's self-explanatory really, right? But I thought I'd show you how this block works. It's an art block. They were on the telly the other day, the art blocks. I love this idea because it really, you see, it stamps, but it's in relief. So in the end, you get this positive and negative idea. I like that look. I think it's really cool. If you pop-up shop now, if you get this one and that one, then we give you all these little candles and baubles as a gift. So they come free with these 2 sets. If I'm not mistaken, these are A6, so these are £9.99 each. Merry and Bright, Happy Christmas, 2 sets, Angels, Stars, it's all going on. And then these are so useful just for lots of other occasions and lots of other stamp sets as well, actually. So let me find, which one should we go with? We'll go with the one that I used here. And let's just see. So I've stamped one going down. Just bear with me a minute. They're moving around. Right. Let's have a look. We're going a little bit Scandinavian now, a bit Nordic. So I'm going to use this one. This is clearly, just ink up the other one and just add different colours. Now let's use this one and see where we go with this. Okay. I'll pop a bit of copy paper in underneath and then we'll see if this works. So this time I'm going to go with my Distress Oxides. Okay, let's use a couple of different ink pads this time. And I've got my polychromos or my pergoliners, whatever you fancy, whatever you fancy, that's what you should use. And then colour-wise, cool, that's a bit dark. I wonder what happened to that other green that I was using. Ooh, don't know, but we'll give it a go anyway. Let's see. It'll be all right. Right, so we're going to go with our spot-on sponges and we'll just add, we're going to fill this. We're going to fill this and we're going to use the sponge to add colour to the stamp. Because these are quite juicy, these ink pads. So you don't want to overcook it really. So let's have a look. I'll add a little bit of orange because this forest moss is really dark. And to be fair, I would normally use something like peeled paint or one of those. This is a little bit on the juicy side for me. I wonder if I use a bit of that green. I've got this green here, which is, what's this one? This is from an artistry ink, but it might work as well, but it's a little bit lighter. So we can mix up the ink pads. Well, we're going to see if it works. Should be all right. Right, so we're going to ink up, got a little bit of light green going on, a little bit of blue, and we're just jazzing up our, there you go. We're not even going to spritz it with water. We just want to get that stamp to show up. So let's take a piece of, let's take a piece of this. There we go. Should we take, what have I got here? I've got one that I started earlier. Let's see if this works. Right, so I'll just pop that into place. Hang on, I'll come up a bit. This might be a bit dark. We'll give it a go though. It's all right. I've got one I did earlier if it is a bit dark. Oh no, it's beautiful. Perfect. See, so you've got all the different colours. You can blend it out a bit more if you choose to, but you can see how you get that lovely, so the tree, see how it comes out? Let me just bring it up, offer it up to this camera. See how it comes out? So you're adding colour to the background. So you can see, you can add a little bit of a landscape. You could do dark green, you could put skies, you could put, it's all there for you. The thing, I think, what I want to say as well is that you don't get hung up on whether the background's exactly what you want. Don't get hung up on that stuff, because in a minute it will all disappear into the background. It becomes a background stamp. Watch. If I take my Happy Christmas now, and I can pop my Happy Christmas straight over the top of this, because it's a big, bold, beautiful print. Yeah, let me come in a little bit closer so you can see it. Oh, wrong way. There we go. I had a 50-50 chance there. So you've got a big bold print. Let me show you the little, let me find the angel. Is this the right angel? I think it could. Now I've got these little angels. Let's have a look. Oh, this could be right. Okay, so I'm going to pop this little tiny angel. Here she is. I'm going to pop her over the top. Oh, accents. It's all about the accents, you know. And then what I can do, I've got choices now. You see, me personally, I'd rather take a pencil now, and I can take the colours from here, and I can just add a little flash of orange in there, say, like that. Not much, don't need loads. And in the halo, and possibly even in her dress, Just add a little bit of orange in there and maybe a bit of blue. We're going to pull the blue out of here. So you suck the blue out of the background, you see. And we're just going to add a little bit of that, just a little accent. How about grey? Just to give that face a bit more. There you go. And you can add a little bit of shade there. So it's starting to look a little bit better. Now, how to pull this tree out? Let me show you something. If I take a grey pencil and I'm going to come in, have I got the right glasses on? That's always mine. Right. And I can come in here and I can make that tree pop just by accentuating underneath. So I'm going to add a drop shadow. See, because at the moment it's quite, you go in here and you'll see that you can lift the tree out just by adding a drop shadow underneath. So suddenly it starts to look as though, yeah, well, here we are. Look, so that's actually the background, this bit, isn't it? See? So now you're bringing that in. Let's just do this side and you'll see. Let's create a drop shadow around there as well. See what I'm doing? And then across the bottom. See, if you go too fast, like I just did, then you knock out, you've gone over the white, which is not so smart. So then you wait till it's dry and you can come back, you'll find the white again. I'm not seeing trouble is because I haven't waited until it's dry. It is there. And you know what? If you lose it, hey ho, white Posca pen. Reintroduce the white. Yeah, there's always a way around everything. Never think, oh, now I've messed it up. There's no such thing as messing something up. It's just an opportunity to find a way around it. See, so if you lose the white, there you go. Look, these Posca pens are dynamite. If the white's gone, then bring it back in. There you go. White's back in. Sorted. Let it dry, then go back in with the grey. So never think, oh, I've ruined it, because you haven't. It's really pretty. See how I've gone in and I've just added a little bit of orange to the tree as well. So you just take your colours and to me it's like a game. You go in with the grey and you go in with the colours, and the trick is to try and make that tree pop from the background. So I really, especially this one, because it's darker, this will be really, really good to pull out. See, and then when it's white, see where that white is now. Just come in under there and draw. You create your own drop shadow. See, it's really cool. And then feather out lightly. There you go. Not just any old tree. This one, you know. This is a Scandinavian Nordic tree. See how you can create the shadow? Look, that side versus that side. Flat, depth. So there you go. And I love these little, our Jazz did these. Isn't it beautiful? Really pretty. So there you go. That's that. I'm going to leave those now and I'm going to go to another set that I really like. Oh yeah, back on the Nordic track. Let me show you these. These are our Yule Goats. Now I love these Yule Goats. Again, these are $14.99. Are they $14.99? Cool, that's a good price, isn't it? Have a look at all the stuff that you get with these Yule Goats. This is something else, right? So you've got the 3 different Yule Goats, the 3 sizes. You've got the positive and the negative. This was Jazz did this. So you've got the 3 straw. These are lovely. These are so nice, these decorations. We've made a whole strip of them. Then we've got the negatives, just like we did with the trees here. Wishing you a cool Yule, hygge, and a really good background stamp, or something to stand them on as well. So let's take a look at this, right? And in the meantime, let me show you a bit of artwork. I'm going to show you some artwork while I'm clearing the decks, because I'm presenter, director, producer. I'm doing it all here. But I need to just clear away what I've been using so that I can make room for the next thing. And I'm not going to get into a panic about it. I'm just going to take my time and move my ink pads away and show you a couple of pieces of artwork while we're working. So check that out. Isn't that gorgeous? Really, really nice. Who's that? Elaine Milner. Elaine Milner. Really lovely work by Elaine. White embossed. And these are those really super straw decorations. Now, this is something that you often see in Scandinavia and in Germany. Straw tree decorations. They're made of straw. You know, if you go to any Christmas market, you see loads of these. Really, really pretty. So let's take a look at some gorgeous artwork. Here we go. So there's your, isn't that nice? Yeah, I know. That's Emma Williams' work. She's great. Dynamite. Look, isn't that beautiful? You know, this is all flat. This is all just done with a micron pen, but it looks like it's been stitched into place, doesn't it? You always know Emma Williams' work. It's always just got a really beautiful flourish. Now look at that. That's D Paramore. I know. Check out the straw. Look, isn't that so Nordic? And then in white on the background. Really cracking. Talking of cracking, look at that. What a great way to do the background. And do you know what? That is using, this is Linda Spencer's work, low tack masking tape in the background, right, all stuck down. And then when you brush over, because it's torn, the ink catches the edges of the masking tape. Isn't that great? Cracker lacking. And the background as well, embossed. Look, see? Copper embossing. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So those are our Yule Goats. Here's a cool one. Wishing you a cool Yule, using the positive and the negative. Very, very nice indeed. So I just want to show you a couple of little tricks using those stamps. Right, so I've got my stamps here, ready to rock and roll. Just move that out of the way for a minute. Right, get that blue brush out of the way. We'll just stick those pencils over there, and then we'll start. So let's have a look. These are so pretty. And again, I want to keep it simple. I just want to show you all the different assets and how we're going to use these pieces. There's a lot in this set. For $14.99, there's a lot in this set. Do you remember when I showed you that wire art and I said, we're going to take a closer look at that border? Well, here is where we found the border. That's where the border is. Now, let's check this out. I want to take, this is so pretty. I want to show you something interesting. Oh, and also this set now, this is cool too. Where did I just put it? Yeah, this is interesting. Masks. You've got a double for the book. Look, it's like the three bears, isn't it? You've got large, medium, and small. So you've got plenty of mileage on the masks for these guys. Now let me show you something interesting. If I take, just find them first. Oh yeah, here they are. So I'll take the large one and I'll take the medium one. Is that right? Let me just check. Yeah. Because the large one and the medium one are facing each other, right? Let's have a look. So if I take this one, how are we doing for time? Oh no, tell me it's not already 4 o'clock. It is. I can't believe it. Right, what else do I need to tell you about while I'm doing this? Right, Shack, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. We're doing the ginkgos. Yeah? Let me pop him in here like that. Right, so Yule Goat, numero uno. Let's call him the father. Yeah? Right, he's the husband, if you like. He's daddy. Now, depending on where I put this one, it's a perspective thing. If I put this one up a bit, then it looks like distance. If I bring it down a bit, it looks like a little one. It's about, this could be the same as that one, but further away. But as soon as I drop him down into the front, then what you'll find is this one becomes a nipper, a little one. So when you're looking at the set and you think, well, I don't want the little one facing the same way as the dad, right? Don't worry about it. You just drop him down and straight away he becomes the little one. Got it? So you take that one, bring it down to the front, perspective. So where do we want to go? Let's have a look. If we put him to the back or we bring him to the front, it changes completely. Here we go. Let's bring him down like that. And now he's small. There we are. Interesting, huh? And then we can wish you a cool Yule. We've got that, which is really nice. I like this, wishing you a cool Yule. So this is an old set that we've zhuzhed up, but I think it's very lovely. Right, wishing you a cool Yule. We'll pop that in there, like so. Nice. Very nice indeed. Now, have a look at the border. You can put this on a ruler. You know you can bend it, don't you? This bends. So if I wanted to, I could turn it into a circle. I could put it on a curve like that. Right, it sticks to the handle, sticks to the ruler. If you want it to be straight, then you need to let it rest again. Our stamps are really good quality, you know that. But you need to let it rest, and then it will find its own straightness again. And then you just stick it on the ruler or whatever you're using for a handle. So if I ink this one up, I'm just inking this up now, and I'm using plum. I thought I'd go, this is a nice colour, plum. Let me show you. And then I think, do you know what? Have we actually run out again? What are we doing next Wednesday? Oh, we're on the telly next Wednesday, so we can't even do another pop-up shop. But maybe the week after we could. Check this out. So I can use this in the centre like that as a little board, like a base line. So I could use this. Look, what a beautiful border that makes. Yeah. And you know that they also look really nice with the trees too. They fit beautifully. Look, so then I could take the two larger ones and I could use that as a tail end. There you go. That looks pretty cool too, doesn't it? And the other thing is, if I wanted to, let me show you this. I could cover them up. So this is the interesting bit. I can cover them up as well. And then I could actually stamp into the background if I wanted to. I could, or I can add colour in the background. So let's say I want to, I've already stamped them, right? There they are. They're in, and now I've covered them up with the masks just because I can. Now let's take a bit of torn paper because they're floating, aren't they? So let's take a bit of torn paper. It's called the background, okay? And I can decide, do I want to cover up the top or the bottom? So let's make a decision. If I make this the base, okay, I know what I'm doing now. So this now, all the feet have definitely got to be south of this line, okay? So let's just, have I got any ink on there? Right, hang on. Doing it all in one colour. What I'm saying is the feet have all got to be south of the horizon, okay? If you want to call it a horizon, right? So let's just do this simply. The art of masking, this is called. So there you go. So we've used the piece of paper to create the baseline. That's definitely south, isn't it? And they're both standing on the baseline. Now let's take this again. Here we go. And let's add some hills. So if I'm going to add the hills, let's make it into a bit more of a hill. Right, here we go. So now we're going Nordic. We're going into the hills. Right, now let's have a look. So we go like that. And I haven't got a moon with me, but that's all right. You get this. Right, so let's just do this. Dusting with the brushes again. 4 in a box, pop-up shop. Look. Right, so there you go. There's your hills in the background. If you're feeling a little bit more, okay, open planey, further back, let's do another hill. So you don't want it all to look the same. Don't re-ink the hill, right? Don't re-ink this. But what you can't do is put this in front of that hill because that looks too strange. This is just real basic stuff, what I'm showing you now, but worth knowing. So if I do that and I make that really light, watch, really light, get rid of loads, it could be a whisper of a mountain. You know, when I found that when I came to work today, the fog, because we live on a hill, the fog was sitting down low. Do you know what I mean? Here we go. So that's pretty cool. And then when you take the masks off, let me show you. See how it's covered up, isn't it? So if you want to add more, you add more. If you want to add less, it's up to you. So you can see, though, that the masks work to protect. They protect. That's it. And then you could add a little bit of a flourish through there. Big moon. If you put the moon in, you've got to cover up the little fellas again. Right. And then I want to show you. Oh, and then, oh, yeah. So back to where we were in the beginning. Looky, looky. You know, when you don't know how to finish a piece of artwork and you think, well, that's all right. Now I've got these 2 Yule Goats. Now what am I doing? Right. So you take your framer again. Here we go. Look, just showing you. Same colour again. Why not? This would be quite good, you know, because now it'd be nice if we had a moon in there, but we haven't. What I should have done is I should have left these covered up, but I want to show you what they look like, because there'll be people watching who don't know how masks work. And so you get like that. Now it's getting darker. Oh, yeah, well, land of the midnight sun and all that. Gets quite dark, doesn't it? Up there. I've never been. I want to go. I really do. Oh, that's not true. I've been to Norway. Of course I have. I've been to Norway. Yeah. I went with my mum. Yeah, and it was beautiful. Oslo. Boom. Beautiful place. Now, where are those? Glad we went then. Here they are. See, so then you're going to take that ink and let's see if we can pull that off. Because it's a permanent ink pad, it still moves though. Right, and just hold it in place. Still using that masking tape. I reckon that'll work good. Well, good. Adverb, Barbara. Right, there you go. See? So you can see how you're building up. This is not finished by any stretch, but you can see how you're building it up. And then, as if by magic, look, check this out. These little fellas, they sit around that edge like a dream. Up tight. Up close, not up tight. There you go. See, look, isn't that pretty? So then you add those around the edge and suddenly you're making a beautiful piece of art. And I'll show you one more thing, because you're going to be wondering, what's with these? How do these look? What do these look like? Well, let me show you. If I take, the reason I'm dithering here, because I'm looking for a particular stamp and I know I've got it, but I can't find it and I don't remember where it is. So I'm going to show you. If I take this, where does that little, oh, I know exactly where it comes from. This is gonna tie up really nicely with where we started today, because I'm afraid this brings us to the end. But let me show you this. If I take one of those little fellas here, these straw, oh, wrong camera, sorry. These straws, but in right, let me take one of those. Let me find them. It's because what's happening is the whole thing's gone like mad here. Like, here we go. So I'm going to take the same straw. Let's have a look. Right. And I'm going to stamp that on there like that to show you what it looks like. Yeah, beautiful. So let's come in tighter so you can see this better. I think you can see it better if I come in tighter. Yeah, like that. Okay. And then, do you remember in this little set, there was a little Christmas wishes, and we didn't use it, did we? But I'm sure I've got it somewhere. I know I've got it because I wanted to use it on here, right? And I thought, what a lovely little watch. So I've got my Christmas wishes, and I'll pop this in and that's from that other set now. Look, how pretty does this look? So that's coming in from this set here, which is the holly set from the beginning. Okay, and then I'm going to use this one to tie up the side like that. So this is such a useful, those Yule Goats with these little straw decorations are so useful. Hang on, I just need something in the background so that I don't get ink all over the black mat. Right. Now, here's one I did earlier that's all nicely trimmed up. There. And what a pretty little gift tag that is, you know. So I just wanted to show you on that happy note, it's not just any old gift tag, it's a clarity gift tag. So on that happy little note, that's how the little straws work. I hope that you enjoyed that. There's loads of artwork. I've got everything out of the cupboard here. What else did I want to show you before we've... Oh, hang on. What's the time? Is it already? Have we got 4 more minutes? Will you give me 4 more minutes? This is going to be so easy. Right, hang on. Okay, and then I'll stop. I've got to show you this one, though. I've got to. Right. Left arm sweep. Right, that worked. Okay, this is a great one. I've got to show you this. This is such a cool one. It's this one. Look, you can't not have this one for $14.99. Let me show you how this one works. So you've got 3 elements in this one. This is so cool. Let me show you this. You've got the outline, and then you've got these infills, and they sit in there. Right, so just for the sake of speed, let's pretend I've already stamped it up. I've stamped that one up. That's obvious. This is just this great big beautiful holly and the ivy stamp. Bosh, like that. And then again like that. Bang. Now I want to show you, what's interesting is these 2 bits, how these work. And I just need to show you this. If you take this stamp, it's a colour inner, but it's also a fantastic background panel stamp. And you can see from looking at the top, if you colour this in, right, I'm going to do that. That's where, let's have a look a minute. Right, that's what I need, is that. And then I need a little bit of green. Bear with me a minute. Immer mit der Ruhe, Barbara. Right, green garland. Okay, let's take that one. And then while we're there, we might as well grab the haystack as well. Keep it simple, Barbara. Right, we're going to go with green garland and haystack in that set. Got it? Right, now let me show you how you work this stamp. So what we're going to do is take a bit of green garland. Now, thing is though, it's quite a wet, look, you can see it's really sopping. Can you see that? It's way too wet, right? Don't want it that wet. So if I take this and I can dab out this dye basting, it doesn't dry quickly. So it's easier if I do that. And then I've got some on there and then I can dab it on that way. If it's too dark, turn it round and you can always dab it again. But you're going to go into mass production with this. But let me show you, because you're going to make Christmas cards. This is glorious to do. And what you're going to do is you hover with the handle, right? And then all I'm looking at is these 2. I only need to look at these 2 holly leaves and then the rest will follow, right? So I'll put that in there, got that one there, hovering, hover, till I'm happy with the position. Then I'll go down like that and I'm going to fill all the holly leaves. Instant colour inner. Look at that. Bosh. Done. Right? So that's that one. If I want to add a bit more, then I can. Of course I can. Just do the same thing again. I could add a bit of blue to it if I want. Now, let's take the yellow one. And now let's go to the ivy, this one here. So I'll take a bit of the yellow, right? Add that. But this time I'll actually use the green ink pad to blend it. So in other words, it's not yellow, it's going to be a real lovely greeny yellow, I hope. That's the theory. What we're going to do is hover until you're happy with the position. And I'm going to look at the lowest ones, the ones I can see. That one and that one. So I'll go in, hover with the handle till I'm happy, right? And then, right, that's in place. I don't have to look at any of the other holly leaves. I only have to look, or any of the other ivy. I just look at those 2. When I do that, it's in. Now, it looks a little bit on the green side because we had too much green going on. Okay, no issue. Let's go back in this time, back in with the yellow. And this is where this is where it comes into its own. Because imagine how long it would take if you had to colour all this in. And that has always been, with this particular, I love this stamp. Mel drew this one. I love it, love it, love it. But always, when you stamped it, you'd go, oh, beautiful. And then you think, oh, no, I've got to colour it in. See, now I'm bringing the yellow in. Do you see how it's getting yellower? Look, So nice to do. You get it? That one's already been done. So you've got more contrast in that one at the bottom. Because yeah, isn't that glorious? So there you go. And that is how that stamp set works. I did one, a smaller one. There you are, like that. Have a holly jolly Christmas, which is so pretty. And you can see I did a bit of yellow and a bit of blue, and I used the ivy as a random, like all the leaves are falling now, and these are perfect for random backgrounds like that. Really, really nice. And that's what I wanted to show you before we call it a day. So forgive me for going over the hour. I think it was worth showing you that one. Thanks so much for joining me. Thank you, Paul, for all your hard work. I hope that there's something in the pop-up shop that you're enjoying. And I think we may be doing more of these because it's actually really fun. And especially now we're at Clarity Towers. We haven't got to keep lugging it all around. So thanks very much. Be safe. Now, don't forget, on Sunday, 2 to 4, I'm on the TV. Got some beautiful, you'll know these stamps. We've zhuzhed them up as well. They're glorious. The stag and the toadstool. Some really beautiful, some clever stuff. Come on, 2 to 4. I shall be on the television at the craft store. So do join me on Sunday afternoon. And don't forget, tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the Shack, we're back to the ginkgo leaves. And they are tumbling down slowly in the garden because we just had our first frost. Lots of love. Be safe. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now. Now, where is the thing to switch me off? There, I think. I don't know. I don't know. Have I switched myself off? I can't find the button. I may just have to pull the plug out. Not working. Okay. Has it worked or hasn't it? Paul, can you come in and help me? I can't see anything with these glasses on for a start. And I don't know how to switch me off. Paul, can you help me? I can't see how to switch myself off. Ooh. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly. Got any ideas? I know.